How's it going? I'm still at the house, y'all. Where my drink at? I'm always getting on here without my drink. Wait a minute. I got on here, y'all, without my drink. Um, y'all, I have to get y'all some news. Listen, I'm coming to y'all again, nice and raw. Okay, me and my twist. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had my hair tied up, but I ain't want to be that disrespectful, y'all. I'm still home, and I work at home. Mm-hmm. I have something in here talking about working at home. Um, but today's topics are gonna be the Ford EcoBoost problem. Well, actually, is the intake valve problem now, the recall, and we got Elon Musk donating $112 million worth of charity. He did that. He donated $112 million worth of charities, Tesla shares. I said that wrong. He donated $112 million worth of Tesla shares to charities on December the 30th. Um, he also gave $5.7 billion worth of Tesla shares, which went, guess where, y'all? To his own foundation. So, like, is that really charity? I can't hate on that dude. I can't. And then I found on Sydney Lake on fortune.com. Sydney Lake wrote an article about carrot and sticking. Sounds interesting, right? Well, let's just get into it. So now, mm, this is good. I made me some coffee, y'all, and it's not by Starbucks. This is coffee. Who is this? Sybil Muggs Plus Coffee Shop. Oh, thank you for supporting our coffee shop, our coffee mug shop. Okay, cool. But anyway, on carbuzz.com, they wrote an article about the problem with the intake valve on Ford. And the only reason why I'm talking about this is because I didn't realize how much I love Ford until I started looking at the stock. And next thing you know, I mean, I used to be a Toyota girl. I would get a Toyota Camry. That would be my thing. I mean, I kept Toyota in my life. My first car was a Mitsubishi Galant. My next vehicle was a Toyota Sequoia. And when that was too much back in '03 and '04, yeah, it was in '04. '03 or '04, one of the two. All I know is that that truck was the bomb. It was lovely. Um, it was just big and spacious, and I only have one child, and she was a teenager about to drive, learn how to drive her own self around, and it was no need for me to have that big old truck. Okay. Um, and then the gas prices skyrocketed, and I was like, oh my god, this is ridiculous. The note was 600 and something dollars. I was like, that's against my religion. I shouldn't be paying no 600 and nothing car note. No. I was in the military then. I was like, oh, this is just being too much. House note, car note. I mean, I just had to get rid of it. And then I got me a 2005 Toyota Camry. Nice and burgundy. It was cute. It was nice on gas, easy to, it was just awesome. But soon as it started having problems, in say like 2011 or 12, I got rid of that joint. if a car something is over like $1,500 or something, I'm like, you know what, I can't do all this. I'm getting me another car. I did. Guess what I got? I got another Camry, 2010 Camry. Then people lied to me and told me it was a 2011, but the VIN number says 2010. But you know, no big deal. I still got that car, but it started having problems, and I said, I'm not dealing with this. I'm just not. My car, what ended up happening was the radiator, something on the radiator went wrong. And when I took it to Pet Boys, Pet Boys had this long list of stuff that they want to do and fix, and I couldn't understand why it cost almost $2,000. And I was like, that's too much. I'm not spending this much money on this old car. I'm not doing it. But then I thought about it. I said, I'm never getting rid of this car. I love my Camry. And I let that joint sit around for about, I let it sit around for about a year, because I first borrowed somebody else's car, guy I was dating, I'm dating. And I drove that for a few weeks, couple of weeks. Then I went and bought me a Ford. No, not a Ford. Well, a Lincoln, which is a Ford. Lincoln MKC 2.0. Right? So with that, it's not as good on gas as the Camrys are or the Toyotas are, but not only do I drive a Ford, but I invest in Ford in the stock market. I sure do. I invest in Ford in the stock market, so I sell covered calls in Ford. I do. I own shares, and I sell covered calls of Ford stocks. So, you know, I'm invested in Ford at this point. So when I took my Lincoln to get its first oil change and servicing, the people helped me with my EcoBoost. They did something to it. It was a 2017 that I have, but they helped put it together. I mean, well, improved the car. I guess they worked on the recall and put that on there so that I could get the E15 gas from the gas station. And I was like, oh, okay. And it got some, it's like driving, like once you fill it up with gas, it seems like it sound almost like a, you know how a motorcycle get ready, you can hear the engine, and you can feel it, it really get revved up. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is geesed up. That car I like that vehicle. It's like a little mini truck. But yeah, when I saw this article on carbuzz.com, I was like, oh, let me see what this is about. And come to find out, they've had these problem with the EcoBoost, but now the problem is the intake valve. I had to write some of this stuff down. The problem is with the intake valve, it could crack. It could lose power after it cracks, and it can damage your engine and all of that. So the problem on the intake valve is pretty significant. And people trying to do a class action lawsuit and all kind of stuff. And the vehicles that are affected are the Ford Bronco, Ford Edge, the Ford Explorer, the Ford F-150, the Lincoln Aviator, and the Lincoln Nautilus. It's the total number of vehicles that's affected is the total number of vehicles that are affected are 90,736 in the built between May 1st to October 31st, 2021. It's the 2-liter EcoBoost or the bigger one, the 2.7. First is 2.7 liter. EcoBoost, or the bigger one that is 3.0 liter variant. So y'all out there with them Fords, y'all need to look into this. I'm gonna leave. I left the article in the description box so you can know about it, so you can read into it, check it out. So now, the Times of India dot Indian no, it's the Times of India dot India dot coms. No, I'm saying that wrong. Time of India dot indiatimes.com, the TOI tech desk is reporting that Elon Musk donates $112 million worth of Tesla shares to charities. That happened on the 30th of December. In 2021, he gave $5.7 billion worth of Tesla shares, which went into his own foundation. Elon, you gotta love to hate this guy. I love him. Smart. Listen, I don't get mad at people who know how to take advantage of the tax code. Like, this dude literally had his own foundations and say, oh, so I can write some of this charity stuff off. I can donate to charity and write it off. I'll create my own charity. Ooh. I can't get mad. I don't get mad at billionaires and millionaires who have all this money, and people talk about, oh, they don't pay their taxes or whatever. Yes, we are supposed to pay our fair share. But if the tax code allow for you to pay, to not have to pay because of some incentive, you position yourself to take advantage of the incentive, don't be mad at these people. That's not, I don't understand why people get mad at that. I mean, if you had it in you, you should build your own business and have your own charities and your own foundations and all of that, so that you can take advantage of it too. You ain't gonna be mad if it was you who was taking advantage of it. You sure wouldn't. Okay? You sure wouldn't be taking it, be mad about that. Like, if I had it all in me to create the foundation, to run the business and hire the smartest accountants to take advantage of the tax codes, that's that billionaire mindset and that billionaire life. Okay? That's just what they do. I mean, you can't be mad at that. Don't beat them, join them. But see, we got people who's supposed to work for other people, and we got people who's supposed to provide the jobs for others. That's economics. That's just the way it is. That is economics. You have something that I can use. I have something that you can use, which is my skills as a worker. You have a product or a service that you need to, cipher out to everybody. Come on. Don't be mad. Get into it. Don't be mad at these people. Get into it. Okay? So, I have one more thing I wanted to talk about. And it's that carrot and sticking. Carrot and sticking. Don't that sound... Don't that sound... Well, carrot and sticking is a term they use when companies offer work from home positions at a lower rate for pay, so that they can pay you less so that you can work from home. This seesaw with working from home being a benefit or not, it's just getting on my nerves. Okay. It really is. Like, if we're out here trying to get to work, first of all, now y'all done made me get on my soapbox. Mhm. First of all, inflation. We got inflation going up constantly. We have uh the government running up inflation by quantitative quantitative easing, meaning they're putting money into the economy so that it can seem like we doing so great, but we're not. And that's why you even have to give any stimulus, because we're not. Okay. So the reason why it all started, some of the reason why it started is because of the virus. And then all the variants of all those viruses is the thing that kept us home, that made us sit home. So if you want to still run your company or organization, it's an incentive for you to have the people work from home, because that means you can still operate while we do work in our offices at home. Mhm. So yeah, everything's calmed down. But no, not really. Because every time you turn around, it's a new variant or a new virus. Right now, they talking about bird flu. I'm like, really? Or one of the main places people go shop is like Walmart. All these recalls and all this. Oh, don't buy this because a listeria breakout or some other bird flu breakout or poison in the food or whatever. I'm like, oh my God. Like, from one thing to the next. For us to go to work every day, that means we have to spend gas or car fare money from according to where you are. In New York, you got to spend, money to get on mass transit or a cab or whatever, if you're not driving into work. So now, if you are driving into work, that's money on gas. Not to mention a frustration in the traffic in New York. In Florida, there is traffic, but in North Florida, it's not as bad. It's some traffic, don't get me wrong, but it is not as bad as the bumper to bumper in New York. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. But that carrot and sticking, they're just trying to change the narrative. And let me see, where was this at? This was on fortune.com. Sydney Lake talked about this. That was yesterday. So I didn't read the entire article, but I did put it in the description box so that you can go ahead and grab that. But thank you, Sydney. Thank you for that. Um, for talking about that. Because now it's trying to make it seem like, see, it's almost like supply and demand. It's like they're trying to pretend that the threat of viruses, deadly viruses, aren't out there, and that they're doing us some favor for letting us work at home. Meanwhile, every time I go to work and be around all the new people for too long, I got coronavirus. Yeah, that's what happened. So here I am working at home. They want you to come in one day a week at where I'm working at to, you know, have a reason for the building to freaking be open, or to have a reason for um I think it's a good thing to have the once a week. I'm not gonna knock it. but it's less people in the office. You know what I'm saying? It's less people in the office. So I guess the open of the building is a good idea. It is a good idea. Plus, if something happened to your computer, you can come bring it in, and the people in the computer who was in IT, they can fix it. Or you have to have a face to face with management for whatever reason. So yeah, it's a good idea to have the one day. But being around too many people and always getting sick around them and knowing you already have an illness or some kind of like immune autoimmune disease that lowers your immune system, listen, why should I be jeopardizing my life all the time? No. So it's a lot of people with this autoimmune situation. It's different stuff. You got lupus, ulcerative colitis, um, all kind of different things that it just seems like I know it's coming from whatever we eat, and it don't matter how healthy you try to eat, you are still being targeted in your food. Chemtrails, you know, we can get into a lot of stuff, but that's not what this video is about today. But the carrot and sticking, it sounds so sticky. Oh, but listen, y'all, I can't stay on here too long today because I gotta get to work. I know I'm in my PJs. I know. I know. I know. But listen, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. I like working from home. I'll say I like working from home once I really, really, really know what I'm doing. But if I don't know what I'm doing, baby, no, I want to be in the office. And that's what I recommend for most people who just got a new job. And even though it's work from home, remote, if you have questions, because things come up, unless it's one of them straightforward jobs. With my job, it's very intricate. It's very detailed. It's a lot of different rules and regulations and all kind of stuff. So it's a lot, and things are always changing. So the benefit of almost 2 decades of working where I work, I can work from home. I can be independent. I can help other people. I can teach other people. I can help them with the on-the-job training. I can do all that. That's I'm the expert in my field. So all I'm saying is I come to work way more often when working from home, because on them days where you just don't feel like going out the house and it just overwhelms you with that feeling, if you have to go to work every single day, sometimes you might have to call in, because when you deal with the public, when you're dealing with the public, the same way they're a human, you are human too. And a lot of times you can save your job by calling in. Let me say that one more time. You can save your job by not going to work on that particular day when you just cannot do it. You just don't feel well. Maybe you got a headache. Maybe, and if you got to deal with the public and you don't do well with being sick and dealing with the public, first of all, you shouldn't be dealing with the public if you're sick. If you're on the phone, I think you should be home and come in like once or twice a month. I really do. You should stay home because you can save space for other people who need to be there on a daily basis. People who taking care of paperwork, like who's doing that? Most of my work, I'm like, I'm making a PDF. I'm digitally signing. I mean, and for the people who don't know how to do it, I teach them. Okay, I just show you how to do it. Communicate on Teams. Some people are still on Skype, I think, or did they do away with it? But do it on Teams. You could do a lot on Teams. So one other thing I was thinking about today, but it's for another video. Remind me to talk to y'all about stock splits. Um, stock splits is a wonderful thing when you want to trade options. So if you got 50 shares of something, this is the only little piece I want to give y'all. If you have 50 shares of something, and they split 2-for-1, now you have 100. And now you can trade the option. You can trade options. Yeah, you can trade options if you get a split. What is it? 2-to-1, or even if it's more than that. So like if you got 50 shares of something, or let's say you have 25 shares shares of something, you can do and it splits 4-to-1. Now you got 100 shares again. You got 100 shares and you can trade. You can trade. You could trade options. Listen, y'all, I like options. Okay. One of these days, I'll get deeper into it, like explaining what a call is, what a put is. I think I might have touched on it in another video, but I just had a little bit of news that I thought was interesting. And since Elon Musk is always in the news and people are always talking about his money and all that, and Tesla and, self-driving vehicles, that's a hot topic. That is a hot topic. So once y'all realize that this billionaire is making a financial ecosystem for himself, we could take a note, take a page out of his book. Take a page out of his book in certain instances. So, of course, we're not worshiping the guy. Like, I'm not. Some people, they have a whole channel dedicated to talking about Elon Musk and Tesla and SpaceX and Cybertrucks and all of that. That's not what this is. I do admire the guy. I do. I admire him. Well, listen, it's been awesome. I've talked to y'all almost going on 30 minutes. And I just think that today is going to be a good day. And I also think that living in Florida is a beautiful thing, because we have some trees right now. It's supposed to be winter right now. We have some trees with beautiful leaves on them. Some of them are falling, but most of the trees still have a bunch of leaves on them. I love it. I do not miss New York. I don't. Nope. I hardly ever go back to visit. And from what I understand, it's crazy out there anyway. So, yeah, why would I do that? Especially right now, January, February, not even March. Don't want to be there. Y'all, thanks for watching. Share, like, subscribe. I'll have other things to talk about. If you have anything that you want me to talk about, put it in the comment section. Whether you like or dislike what I'm talking about, put it in the comment section, and I will get to it. I might answer you. All right. Peace.